Hello, friend. Welcome to day 1 of our identity series. Today, we're going to be talking about what identity is and why the enemy wants to distort or destroy it. Okay, so we're going to just dive on in. So, what is identity? Identity is the core of our being. It is our sense of self, our sense of who we are and what our place is in this world, why we exist, and what we believe about ourselves. It's our sense of self. And it is so incredibly important. Our identity is crucial because it is the place from which we make all of our choices. Every single choice we make comes from our identity. That is the basis, that's the core, that's the root. Because when we know who we are and what our place is in the world, what our role is in this world, what our purpose is, we operate in accordance with that. And so sometimes what we think we believe about ourselves isn't lined up with how we behave, which means there's some sort of disconnect in our identity. So our identity is who we are. And it is so crucially important. So, we basically, that's what identity is. So why does the enemy want to distort or destroy it? Well, because it's important. It's the core of our being. Because number one, we are all born with the identity of being made in the image of God. All humans, all of humankind, every single human on this planet, upon conception, is human, has life, and has the image of God. And that is a core identity that we all share, but then every other element of our identity is unique to us. But that fact that we're made in the image of God makes us unique even among the angels. Not even the angels are made in the image of God. And the enemy originally was an angel, and he fell because he fell into pride and he wanted to become like God. And so the enemy is jealous of us. The enemy is jealous that we have something he cannot have and will never have. And so that part of us, that part that's made in the image of God, number one, is one of the key things he tries to distort and destroy from the beginning, from conception. Then, building on that, if we have a solid sense of our identity, not only made in the image of God, but the unique calling that he has placed on our lives, the unique gift he has placed on our individual lives, if we are solid in that, then we are able to operate from a place of victory, and we are a threat to the enemy. And so he tries to distort and destroy our identity, because if we are not operating, if we don't understand our true authority, our true power, our true essence, and in our identity, then we are no longer a threat if we don't understand that, if we're not operating in that. But when we are operating in the fullness of who God created us to be, we're unstoppable. We are unstoppable. And nothing he throws at us will throw us. And so the enemy starts from the beginning of our lives. The biggest, most major thing he attacks is our identity. Because if he can get that shifted and misplaced, if he can get that shifted and misunderstood and unaligned in some capacity, then he has an in to weaken us and make us less effective in the fight against him. Less effective for God's kingdom. Okay? So that's why the enemy wants to destroy our identity or at the very least to distort it. He wants to destroy it because he wants to kill, steal, and destroy all of us. But he will settle for distortion if he can't kill us. So all that to say, that is why identity is so crucial, what identity is, why it's important, and why it's under such attack. Okay, so if you have experienced a lot of attack in your identity. So this is going to be things like who you are, what you believe about yourself, how you see yourself in the world, your sense of value, your sense of purpose. All of those things, if you find that under attack, if you find that the beliefs that you hold about yourself to be more negative, a lack of worthiness, if you're struggling with seeing yourself as worthy, as valuable, as important, then your identity has been under attack and been distorted. And so what we get to do when we identify, oh yeah, my identity, there's some areas where my identity is not appropriately aligned. It's not aligned where it should be with the Lord. The enemy's gotten in there and distorted and misaligned it. Well, we get to make that decision. We get to decide, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. We get to choose to step into what our true identity is. Okay? And so that is what's so exciting, so powerful. And that's one of the things that I help you with. That is something that I'm very passionate about, because it's an area I got so much healing when I made those shifts, when I really understood who I am in Christ, who God made me to be. It made such massive shifts in my life. And so now I help you with that. I help you because it helps so much to have somebody, a third party kind of outside of us, to look and help us sort through those lies. Because it's easy to get caught up in our heads with all the evidence and all the reasons why we hold those lies or those misperceptions about our identity. It's really easy to get caught up in that and get stuck in those loops. And it's really helpful to have somebody else come in and hold the space and help us sort through what's true and what's not, and then also adjust and replace the lies with truth and realign the things that got misaligned. Having someone else help us with that, especially somebody who's been through it, is so helpful. It kind of helps speed up the process, but it also helps reveal things. We have blind spots. And so having somebody else come in and who can show us those blind spots is so helpful. And that's what I do. That's a massive part of what I do in my coaching. As a coach, I come beside you. I'm a couple steps ahead of you, and I come beside you and I guide you. And I even have like a signature process I take people through. And that's something I just actually opened up today. I have room for 5 people to go through a signature program where you're going to get one-on-one attention, and we're going to dig into your identity and shift it where it needs to be shifted, solidify where it needs to be solidified, and heal. And so if that's interesting to you, I invite you to DM me about that, and we can talk more about that. If this explanation of what identity is and why it's under such attack, why the enemy tries to destroy and distort it was helpful, you're gonna love my book that I'm writing. Launch date TBD, because I'm still in the writing process, but soon. So if you love this, I go even deeper in my book and on identity. And so if you want to be in the first to know when it's finished, when we have a launch date, all the things, comment identity book, and I will get you on the wait list. I'll give you the link to join the wait list, and you can be in the first to know group as that continues to be, we move forward with that. So those are kind of your 2 things. If you want to be on the wait list, comment identity ebook. If you are interested in my signature process for really refining and healing our identity, DM me and let me know that you're interested, and we can talk more details about what that looks like. Have a wonderful day, my friends. Bye.